I've literally had it with people. Literally had it with people. I have, ooh. It takes so much for me to just not like rage right now, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna rage. I'm not gonna have an emotional breakdown. But I am just completely flabbergasted by the fact that I've suffered now for a year and a half since my husband and I decided we were going to get a divorce. I have suffered a lot. The pandemic has certainly not helped. It has been a really rough road. Really rough road. But what I'm going to start with is the fact that we had agreed that he would go ahead and find a way for us to file for divorce and do it the easiest way possible. That was at the beginning of 2021. I waited and waited and waited. After I had gotten kicked out of my own condo, I waited patiently, right? For that divorce filing, or for him to say, hey, let's go ahead and do this, whatever. Never happened. March of last year rolls around and he decides that he wants to refinance the house and he wants my name off the home, so that way he could get a cheaper principal and interest on the house, which I'm not sure how that was exactly possible given his credit score. I don't know if somehow my credit score was used instead. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why I agreed to it, because he was literally shaking the entire day that I was supposed to sign the documents to get myself off of the deed of that condo. And now I know why, because he knew the legal implications behind himself just owning that house. And so I could slap myself for doing that. I could slap myself silly. So, we wait and we wait and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait. And it gets to July 2021 and, still nothing. And finally, I had spoken with a couple family members and some friends, and they said that he was being, just dragging his feet like he always does and being non-committal. And they said I needed to make the first move, so I did. I hired an attorney. I had him serve divorce papers. I had them go to his work and had him serve divorce papers. And so after that, yes, he signed those divorce papers. But then after the 60-day cooling period had run out, he continued to drag his feet and drag his feet and drag his feet on the agreement, which I had already written up, and I knew what I wanted out of the condo. Whatever I could see, because I was never allowed back in my own condo. I knew that I wanted my animal, my pet, my cat, and I knew some furniture that I wanted, and I knew some, I wanted my clothing. That was like the basics, and I waited for a fucking long ass time for this to finally happen, for his attorney to write up an agreement. And then when I finally got that agreement, which wasn't until probably October, November, that said that he wanted to go ahead and sell the house, which he just refinanced. Makes a ton of sense, right? But then he blamed it on me, of course, because he said I was asking for too much just because I wanted 50-50. Isn't that the way Arizona law works? You get a divorce and you split assets 50-50. I guess in his mind it should have been 60-40, 70-30. Of course, the greater end of that going to him. But that didn't happen. So he said, I'm just going to sell the house and move in and do my own thing. And I was like, fine. So then list the house, put it on the market. The house didn't get put on the market until, early December, I want to say. And I had wondered for a long time why it took that long, because I knew he wanted to divorce me and I wanted to divorce him. And I wanted to know, why did it take him that long to just list the house? But then I did some research and I found out that there's a certain tax loophole. I'm not going to name what it is because I don't know who's all going to watch this video. But there's a tax loophole that you can take advantage of if you've owned a home for a certain amount of time. And you can exempt a certain amount of money if you've lived in that home for a certain amount of time. And that's exactly what happened, is they waited until past that deadline happened that we had, quote unquote, lived there that amount of time. And so therefore he's now able to take advantage of this so-called tax loophole. And so it all dawned on me and finally made sense. I went through all of this emotional turmoil during 2021 because I wanted this divorce done. But he chose to wait until past that November deadline so that way he can exempt himself from being taxed on a certain amount of money that was made on the condo being sold. That made me mad. It did. I mean, I understand wanting to save money. I understand that. But why be so shady about it? Just be upfront about it and say, hey, can we just wait to list, the house until past this, date, so that way I don't have to pay, taxes on tens of thousands of dollars. But there was no transparency whatsoever. Inside of the divorce decree, we had written that we would agree on the terms of the sale of the house as well. That also didn't happen. He hired somebody independently, someone I said I agreed we should hire, but he went ahead and hired her independently, not to work for him and I, but to work for himself. And so every offer that had come in during the month of December, I was not made aware of. The very first offer that I was made aware of was from him, of course, and it was because one of his friends wanted to purchase the home that we did live in. And I said absolutely unequivocally no, because I want the most amount of money out of the house that we jointly own together. I wanted the most amount possible. I didn't want to give a break to somebody just because they're a friend. Granted, I love helping friends. I love helping people. I'm a philanthropic person. I have nothing against helping people. But when it comes to him and I divorcing, why am I the one that has to concede and say, sure, we'll go ahead and sell it to your friend that probably isn't going to give us our asking price anyways? So I said no. And I know he wasn't happy about that. So then I heard about maybe one or two other offers. In the meantime, I had called, actually, the realtor, and she decided that she didn't want to disclose any of the offers that came in to me, because she said that she was specifically hired by my soon-to-be ex-husband and that I was not privy to that information, which I would invite her to go ahead and read the divorce decree that was signed by both me and my ex-husband, and it was also notarized, so we're supposed to abide by that, and it wasn't. So I took a shot in the dark, and when he told me the highest offer I heard, I said, okay, fine, because I knew that he was waiting to move out of town and wanted all of this over with. And I was like, fine, let's just fucking sign it. So we did. We accepted the offer, signed it, yada, yada, yada. Also written in that divorce decree was the fact that I had written specifically that I needed the proof that he had filed our 2020 taxes, because that's what I was under the impression of had happened, was that he filed them. And I wrote that if he did file them, I needed a certified, receipt showing that it got mailed to the IRS. That didn't happen. He never provided that information. And I need to know that information because I still have to file my taxes for 2021. And I don't know how to classify myself. Obviously, I'm not married, but I don't know, because I was technically married all of last year, if I need to file it as married as single, or you know how all that works. So I need to know that information. But I also need to know if he fulfilled his obligation that he said he was going to do during 2020, which I'm suspecting he didn't, because if he had, he probably would have provided the information. So there is a lot going on there. He drug his feet on getting the divorce finalized until all of a sudden it was my emergency, because he had to move out of state in December. It was all of a sudden, oh my God, we got to accept the first offer that we can get. But yet he drug his feet in the beginning because he wanted to avoid a tax loophole, which, since his name was the only one on the deed at that point, he would have been responsible for paying those taxes, not me. So I am pissed off. And I think I'm rightfully pissed off. I'm clear-minded and everything. I am beyond upset and pissed off about this. Not because I want him back. I don't want him back. I never want to be with him again. I thought he and I could be friends, but he has betrayed me in so many ways at this point, to where it's like, I wash my hands of that. I wash my hands of it. I really do. But I want what is owed to me. I want it. I want what's rightfully mine, right? That's all I ever wanted. And yet I am painted out to his family and to all his friends and to all our mutual friends. I am painted out to be the villain just because I want what's fair. Is that fair? Because I don't think it is. And I'm not going to settle for it. I'm not going to back down and just watch out.